One thing that I have always stood by is that retro games have better design than they do nowadays. Like, back in the day, there was more creative experiments in gaming. And I wanted to, share some of my thoughts on, you know, some unique games then and now. What I think is unique then and now. All right. So, little backstory. I grew up in the 90s and I grew up with the PS1. All right. I played Nintendo growing up, but PS1 is where I really started to grow as a gamer, I guess. And that's when I started to actually really, get in deep and heavy with gaming culture. So this game that I'm about to show you is one that's fairly unique, and that is Spider, the video game. It's about a scientist that puts his consciousness in a spider, and then the spider has to go on a journey, and he has to collect power ups to get, weapons and guns and stuff on a friggin' spider, like armor and stuff. And there's little traversal puzzles where you hang down from the top of a place and get, you know, silk yourself down, and then you climb back up. It's unique, you know? It's unique in that aspect. And then there's good old Onion Head from Parappa the Rapper. And yeah, I think this game was unique back then and creative because we didn't have music in games at that point. So that's goes along with what I'm saying. It's games used to be more creative back then than they are now. And there's one game that I haven't got here right now, but it's Intelligent Cube. It's like a puzzle game where you're just this dude on a box of blocks and stuff, and it's a creative puzzle game. And that's what I mean. It's more experimental. It's more creative in the way that they would make a game. So after the PS1, obviously came the PS2. So the trend continued into the 2000s with unique games being presented for these sixth gen systems. Okay. And first up, this game, it's like a movie, literally. And that game is Stuntman. So I thought it was a creative idea from the makers of Driver 1 and 2. And they ended up making a unique style for a game. It's a movie, you know what I mean? It's crazy how they put this idea into a game and it worked. I mean, it sold well enough to get a sequel, like I 7, 8 years down the road, but my point still stands. So, next game up on this list is it's just trippy, okay, for its time period. Because when this game came out, all the ideas being presented were fairly new. fairly new and unique. Okay, and that is Psyops. The subtitle is The Mind Gate Conspiracy, but I already knew that. Psyops is a game that used physics in a really unique way back when physics was actually a unique gameplay idea that could actually sell. But now, any sort of game that uses physics, well, they don't use any physics really. Everything's bolted down, nailed down to the floor, and you can't move it. You can't do nothing with it. And it's games like this that always trigger me in a way. Like, these games are actually really unique in that sense because they were presenting ideas that they don't get presented no more. Okay, this next game is a game from Tim Schafer, and it's Psychonauts, okay? It's Psychonauts, okay? What else do I need to say? It's Psychonauts, okay? I have yet to play the sequel. I own it, but I haven't had a chance to get into it yet. Anyway, Psychonauts, play it. Find it, do whatever. Play it. It's good. You'll see what I mean when you play it. Alright? Unique. Anyway. So, the last game from the PS2 era that I'm going to present really made it up for back in '03. Okay? And it's made by Rockstar. So, the game that I'm talking about that is unique, even for Rockstar, is Manhunt. Okay? This game leaned full on into controversy with a unique, snuff film, black market DVD style with scan lines from like VHS tapes and stuff, but it's a video game, so it's not real. But you get what I mean? It was, I wouldn't say it was glorifying violence because you don't necessarily want nor have to commit acts of violence except for a few key points in the game. You can sneak your way through the whole game, but to get more extras and stuff, you're going to have to really work for it, if I should say so. But yeah, this game was very unique and retro for its time because it had this sort of 80s slasher movie vibe. Alright, but now I'm going to present a couple games from nowadays. Okay? And these games are unique, but in much different and, in my opinion, much less profound ways. Alright? And the first game I got up here is simply called Control. Okay? It's made by Remedy Entertainment, which is from Max Payne fame. And there's a lot of ideas that are comparable to Max Payne games. But also, it's comparable to some of the weirdness in Remedy games. And it's like this weird sort of amalgamation of all the lessons that they've learned over the years. Fast-paced action, weird powers, weird, new weird sort of storytelling, and just unique-ish ideas when it comes to gameplay design. Like I said, it's like an amalgamation of all their other games. and it's good. It's good. I recommend. I do recommend this. All right. And the other game that I have, it this game is not really a game per se because it's more of a gameplay development toolkit or a gameplay engine, I should say. And that is Dreams. Okay. Now the reason why I think this game is unique is because it's pretty much its whole shtick. It's its whole premise. Create whatever you want and play whatever you want because there's a bunch of unique content always being added by the Dreams community. And I might be in a weird kind of audience here for this, but I do like this game and I do recommend. I shouldn't even call it a game. I should call it a product. I recommend this product. Give it a shot and see what people have created. It's insane the kind of stuff that people create in this. So hopefully I said something that makes sense to people out there because these are just some of my thoughts and opinions. All right. So just let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and do whatever you want. Peace. I'll see you later.